So you've got, at the moment, it's almost 9 o'clock local, and you'd arranged to meet with the boatman at 10 o'clock on the far side of the bedroll isle to travel over to the dead stones. So you decided to pursue the deranged rambling that you heard from your companion Kadrak, calling for a freeness.
Ah, that's right, a freeness.
Yeah.
I've had trouble tracking down my notes. It's been that long, and I'm not sure whether I've got the latest copy because I seem to remember writing stuff down, but none of that.
Yep. Annie will
Has
be
to be
with
like
us
that.
in a sec. So she'll be with us 1 sec, which would be good.
Freeness.
Yeah, so you had decided to hedge your bets from the coder's instruction on what you have heard about what's going on in the Dead Stones. You've heard that the hunters for Elvish relics are hunting with stones, and there's somebody over there who hunts with 2 dogs. Okay. So we are still in turn order just at the moment. So, Filialis, you have climbed up following the natural contours of this spring. As you climb to the top, you can see that the water of the spring here, there's a bubbling in the center. Like the heat, it's like geothermal water coming up. Sort of a gentle bubble. It's not harsh. You can make out the sort of structural form of a structure here. You can see that there is what looks to be an ancient construction within what looks to be a very old but far more modern, like gazebo built over the top of it, almost like to protect it. Can you make a history roll for me, please? Oh. You're looking at this thing amazed by the architecture. You've never seen anything like it, but you have no comparison. Okay, what would you like to do?
I guess I'll try and walk over to get to the contraption and just sort of have a look at, see if I could work out what it does.
All right. So you have, obviously there's a pond here. So the water is in that area. Which way are you heading?
Which way?
Just to clarify, is like that way, that's the direction where I'm supposed to be, like where the thing is?
No, so basically it's roughly here.
All right, cool. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just move to there.
Make a perception roll using your... Oh, no, you're not in your other form. Standard perception roll. Filialis, you have been shaken by the things that are going on. You get to that point and you're standing there looking at this gazebo-style structure over a tower. But you feel this proximity. This scent. There's something going on. And then suddenly you feel a gentle pressure on your arm. Hey, Annie.
Hey, sorry, I've got you on the phone for the moment because my
Okay.
computer is just crapping itself.
No worries. mate.
And I'm very sorry, I completely forgot about today. I was on it last night. I was like, I know we're doing this, and then like we went out for a couple drinks, and let's just say I was trip sitting the entire time. That was very annoying.
No worries, mate. And then, Filialis, you feel a large hand touch your tiny shoulder, and you look up and you see Kadrak just sort of appears in front of you. And he looks at you and he says, "The elves are here, little one. The elves are here. You must run. Afrinus protects us no more. He does not answer my call." Now,
Where are they?
so he's appeared right here, next to you.
Yep.
And you, Filialis, to your knowledge, Kadrak had no way of making himself invisible. None. You look at his eyes, they're fevered, his eyes are darting from side to side. Guys, we've got a really bad feedback loop going on somewhere.
I've got really good audio.
You have? Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Anybody
I think
else?
I've got mine on push to talk, so it shouldn't react.
Okay.
Unless I'm pushing it.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll carry on. So basically, yeah, he looks terrified, Filialis. Terrified. But
It might be me, Matt. I'm just looking when you're talking.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's sort of like someone's drawing sort of something across a piece of glass. It's weird.
oh, it could be the fan. Hang on. Is that better?
I don't know, mate. We'll see. But anyway, so yeah, no, it's still going. It's like somebody is moving something.
Yeah, okay. So how do you do the push to talk thing, Annie? Where's that button?
It's in your settings. You need to go into your settings and like a sign, a button that will be your push to talk. So let me go through mine. If you go down to the bottom, you can look at user settings, and from there, it's down in. Yeah, you got it. All right.
So at that point, Filialis, I want you to make an insight roll for me.
Is that better now, Matt?
Yeah, mate, it's good. Okay. You look up Filialis and you're looking at the eyes of an old friend and a member of your knot. But what catches your eye is the elven relic that was given to him by Gazanold. And you look down at that mirror. And the mirror that you see in the reflection as you look up, because, you know, he's wearing plate. He's wearing everything you're used to with Kadrak. So the mirror is sort of sitting obliquely on his chest. And when you look into the mirror, the reflection of the face is somebody different. And you find that really disturbing. But then you look up the face, up to this tall, he's a dwarf, but to you, tall. You look up to his face, you see the face of your friend and your knot member looking at you with tears of frustration in his eyes. You've been used to Kadrak being frustrated about his own cognitive deficit. But he's now in distress. There's something truly frightening going on. At least frightening for Kadrak. And that's resonating with you. All right, so we shall move on. I'll let you take an action. You've taken an insight roll. That's all passive. If you want to take an action at the end of your turn, go ahead, Tom.
Well, I think because Kadrak says that the elves are here, I think I'm going to try and see if I can, like, if I can notice if there are any sort of nearby.
Yeah, go ahead. So I'll give you another perception roll, but with advantage because you're really hyped now. Okay. All right. So you look around and you see nothing, but you notice a glimmer of light appearing over the rise here. But you do not get a good feeling about it. Something in your gut disturbs you about that. All right. So, Squadge, you watch and you see over to the side that another figure has appeared.
Did I hear any of the dialogue, or was Kadrak whispering?
No, he's not. His voice is booming and resonant. And one of the things that you've always thought about Kadrak was his voice seemed too eloquent, too studied for somewhat of his mentality and frame. But you can see him appear next to your friend. You're equally shocked. Like, when did Kadrak learn how to become invisible?
But I didn't see anything about the mirror, right?
No, not close enough. But you did see, what I will say, is you did see that light, that greenish sort of light appear over the rise here.
Just a perception roll to hone in on it, to
Yep.
really, really eye it out, see what it is.
Yep. Right. As you look, you can see that great, a dome of light which is starting to peak is forming of something coming over the rise. Keeping in mind that you guys have climbed on to sort of the tallest point in this flat atoll. So something is coming up the rise that is generating that light. But you look at it, and even at that perception that the light it has a sickening feel to it, a disturbing feel.
Okay, so that was my action.
Mm-hmm.
Move to the edge here. Is that that's a high point, isn't it?
It certainly is. When you look down, you would probably be a 15-foot fall back to the marsh floor.
Okay, so I'm going to light a candle.
Yep.
As a bonus action.
Yep.
Using fast hands.
Yep. And what's the light radius on that?
I think it's 5 foot.
Okay.
I've changed the way I've set everything up, so it's just a bit hard, especially with this push to talk thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you're looking back at Kadrak with his hands, and you can see the agitation in the hand he has on Filialis' shoulder, and this point of respect. Like, you're looking at him, and it's like the tremor of an addict, like the agitation in something of Kadrak you've never seen before.
So 5 foot radius and dim light for an additional 5 feet.
Okay, well, I'm giving you 5 feet and 10 feet, given the actual lighting in the cabin.
Okay, and then I'm going to move away.
Mm-hmm. Back down there. Yep. Okay. So you walk down to Windra downhill. To your companion. Okay. Damian, you are climbing up after getting rid of the last snake. You are making your way out. So Damian's snake attractor. You've
It's always snakes. Why is it always got to be snakes?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Do you want these guys?
Yep.
I am.
Yep.
Going to use Eyes of the Grave again
Okay.
because just
can.
got to be sure,
All right.
and also because I can. So
I'm just going to check something. Okay. To the point of the Eyes of the Grave, you cannot see anything except when you swing past. Let me just see what you can see. Sorry, I'm just going to go back. That's enough. So you get a ping up here, but it's very, very mild. And nothing anywhere else.
Alright, I'm just gonna let Litehands and Windra know I'm getting a slight
Yep.
undead ping over near
But
where I suspect Filialis is.
But I would suggest to you that this is the most bizarre resonance within this skill that you've ever seen. This is not
Okay,
undead.
so there's something weird about it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The thing that sits in your head is not undead, it's living dead.
Okay.
Okay. So, you share that with your companions. So, we're on to Windra.
I don't know. I was trying to like catch up mentally, like seeing which way people were going, but two people just converged on me. So now I'm like, I don't know what we're going here.
Matt, sorry to confirm, I
Yep.
placed a candle on the ground
Okay. No worries.
where the X is. That was really the action.
All right.
Yep.
No worries. I will put that here and change that. All right. Give me a sec. So that was 5 foot and 10 foot, wasn't it?
Correct.
Okay. And for you, you have no light.
I've still got my hooded lantern going. Sorry,
Yeah.
Matt.
So what was
maybe
that?
You weren't clear.
What's your hood lantern range?
Just getting there.
Yep.
30-foot bright light
Mm-hmm.
and dim light additional 30 foot.
Okay. God, that's good. Okay. So you've sort of inadvertently set up the whole area with light. So now you can clearly see Kadrak over the other side with your lantern, like blasting at him. I'm just trying to think also for Windra before we move on. Right, Windra, can you can we look at the weather condition? Because we said when we return to play, it's actually a windy day. So can you roll D20 for me, please?
Of course.
Okay. So on a windy day, no advantage for you. Okay.
Alrighty. Just mentally catching up. If Damian has informed that there is something out that way indicating living dead, Windra will move to about there to start closing in to warn them of this.
Okay. So you move forward. Any other action?
I will hold my action in case of movement that is not friendly.
Okay. All right. You're holding your action. So, Philialis, we come back to you. You're looking at your companion. You've noticed, as out of the corner of your eye towards the left, you've noticed that there seems to be a natural light, a green light moving in the water.
Like underneath.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And what sort of direction does it seem to be moving in?
It seems to be heading in this direction, like towards the center of the pool.
Okay. And is there any way to get to the gazebo thing without going in the water?
No. At least 10 feet. You look to the back, like around the back, you think it's maybe 5 to 7. And you see Kadrak looks at you and he goes, "You know what's coming, don't you? It's him. He rules this place." He has a spirit of hate and a body of light. And we were friends once, long ago. He will kill us. Only a freeness can protect us, and a freeness has become so weak. And then he grabs hold of you. He grabs the lapels of your outfit. And he brings you up, Philialis, almost picks you up off your feet with these heroically strong dwarvish arms. And he looks at you and says, "He knows your Vorchik. He will use it against you." He knows all of your weaknesses. And let you go.
Would I have any like sort of any kind of like previous knowledge on like elf kind of stuff? Or would I just sort of be vaguely aware that they exist, sort of?
I think in your case, being your people, I think you can make us a history roll, but at advantage. All right. So your knowledge of this was at one point all of the islands of Ilath was ruled by the elves. Your people tell a story of the people you recognize as elves in Ilath are not the same as what others from other lands call elves. They're a creature that's different again. You know that they meddled with a great many things, but when the ash waste came to the island a long time ago, that was when the Vorjik appeared. And it was the same time the Ashborn appeared among the humans. The elves have no control over the Vorgic. You know that. You've seen stone representations of the Vorgic themselves. But Vorgic blood got into the blood of your people. Suddenly in your mind, the talk that was given to you by Gazanolt, when he talked about, in his note, about the talk giving you a chance to control the Vorgic. Suddenly you realise at that moment he was talking about you. Right, Tom, what are you doing? You see, look at Kadrak.
Well, I
He
kind
says
of
to you,
want to.
the change is coming. Your change is coming.
I think. I think what I'll do is um I'll sort of, I guess, prepare an action
Yep.
of um um like I'll prepare to activate
Yep. Arms of Astral
that
Self. Yep.
when, like, I guess, like, once it sort of reveals itself,
Yep.
like, if I see anything, like, if it seems to be, like, coming towards us,
Yep.
then I'll activate that, I reckon.
Okay. So you're holding that, and we will move to Litehands. Filialis, you are shaken to the core. And again, completely freaked out by the face you are seeing in the reflection of that mirror, which is different. You haven't had the moment to focus your attention on that image, but it's different. It's saying the same things as Kadrak, but the reflection is a completely different person. Okay. Squadge. You're watching from the sideline. You're watching. Windra has moved up. And in the sort of dull light, which you've now enhanced to give yourself an advantage of seeing what's going on, you can see that Kadrak and Filialis just seem to be locked in this conversation. You know, like Kadrak is holding Filialis's like petite shoulders and just emphasizing a point with a focus you've never seen from him. Okay.
I'm going to call out using a performance roll
Mhm.
because I think it's time to go. Come this
Mhm.
way.
All right. So you're doing that to drag people in. Okay. No, brilliant. So what I'm going to say is for the rest of you, from this point on, if you perform an action which is contradictory to your party, which is saying "come with me," it's at -2. Right? You hear your companion, your trusted companion, your sometimes fearful companion saying we have to go. All right.
To be clear, Matt, can I see this underwater green light?
Yes, you can, and you can see it roughly here. It's moving forward.
Okay. I'm going to just take out a short bow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's so my action is the performance.
Mm-hmm.
My quick action is to grab my short bow,
Yeah.
and I'm going to move. Stay where I am.
Okay. All right. But you're prepped. Damian, you look up, and the temptation to go for the mask is very high.
Oh, I don't know. So I don't really have the resources to look after myself. Is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to resist this urge
Mm-hmm.
just for now.
No, cool.
Um, Instead, I will hold
Okay.
a hold a sacred flame just in
Okay.
case.
All right. As you resist the urge to put on the mask, you feel a tear form in your left eye. And as you drag your eyelid down to clear it out subconsciously, as soon as the teardrop leaves your eye, you drag sand down your face. And you look at it, and you can see these crystals of sand fall from your fingers. Okay. Right. Windra.
Does it seem as though Kadrak and Filialis have heeded the warning of let's leave?
Not to your knowledge. They seem to be locked in this. It's weird because you're looking. Make a perception roll with advantage for me. You don't have a fucking idea. You are moving forward.
All right. Do I still have my little sling that I made out of vines? and
Yes, you
twigs and
do.
branches and stuff?
Absolutely. That is now
Alright.
a permanent vestige from this marvelous island. Yeah.
Are there any like bits of debris near me?
Absolutely. Around the base of
Yeah.
this lake, lots of rocks and bits and pieces. Yeah.
I'm gonna fling a little sling shot just into this tree over here.
Yeah.
Just to catch their attention.
All right. Make a roll, an attack roll. Yep. Okay. Perfect. So you fly across, you snap the tree over here at its base, and you watch as both your companions look across. All right. Now, I want you to make another perception roll, but at advantage for me. All right. You notice when you do that, Kadrak's chest turns, his head looks that way, but his chest turns that way. You know that sort of subconscious human thing? The noise is here, I'll look, but I'm prepared to go the other way. Sort of fight and flight. When you do that, you see the medallion that Gazanok gave him swings towards you. And you look and you see what seems to be a human face. And the human face is looking straight at you. You see,
Alright.
you can't make out the face properly at this range, but what you do get is a sense of acceptance and agreement. A smile of acknowledgement. Your action in the reflection is acceptable. All right.
She'll say, come on, and
All
then
right.
start heading back to the rest of the group.
All right. So yell out to the pair of them, and that sort of, for you, Filialis, breaks this sort of link with your companion. All right. So you're up. You got the way of the astral arm, or I'm not quite sure what that was. Astral arms.
Well, where has the light sort of moved?
It's
Anyway?
moved to the dead center of the upswell. So from your perspective, it's right here, where you can see the column of water coming up. Kadrak looks at you and he says, It is his memory. It is a smear of him. It is not him. Be thankful. It is not him. But he is close. He rules this place. And he looks back at you and he grabs you and he goes, Protect yourself, Forgic. Now, I'll get you to make a perception roll again for me.
Sure.
Okay. So in like him grabbing you and the amulet moving, you can see this human face, but you can't quite make out the features properly. You can't make out the intent.
I think I'll sort of move a bit this
Yeah.
way. And so I'm sort of midway between the rest of the party and Kadrak.
Yep. All right. So you do that.
Um,
So what I will do, you have moved away. Not that was a bad thing, Tom, but from the water, when you move away, you see this light breaks out of the water. Just like a bizarre sort of looking eerie light that looks like an androgynous figure, and it moves towards Kadrak. You see Kadrak start screaming as it moves towards him, and as it approaches, it blasts him like it grabs him, and for 1 minute you see the forms grabbing his shoulders as looking female, as looking male. The form changes like multiple times, and it blasts him with like an energy that discharges into him, and it is a critical. Jeez, I'm doing well already. First hit. Why is nobody impressed? 3 times damage. Right, so 2 nines are 18, 3 nines are 27. And you watch as Kadrak's form is picked up and electrocuted in front of you, and his form drops to the ground. Apparently dead. Now, you had held actions. Arms of the astral self. Oops, wrong one. That was the one that was... Right.
yeah, so I'll definitely be bringing that out.
Yep. Oh, Jesus. Right.
Sure. Alright. I guess I'd still haven't. I think that's just a. Yeah, that's a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll just throw a javelin at the light stuff.
Okay. So you throw a javelin in. 23, a crit. All right, great. Roll it. 3 times damage, so 15. You watch as your javelin passes through, but it doesn't do as much damage as you would hope, but it's done a lot more than you actually thought it would. Okay. Okay. Just let me do this. Okay. So Kadrak has definitely dropped. Your javelin has done damage, but not as much as you'd hope.
Yeah, and that's that turn
Okay.
done.
Okay. Squadge,
All right. Bonus action is steady aim.
Mm-hmm.
Into chat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Ooh, unfortunately your shot does not hit. You look across, and this form, which you look at it, and it looks to be quite a husky looking male form in robes, looks at you and suddenly changes into a small female form and dodges, and the arrow goes across.
So that's bonus action.
Yep.
As well as action, and the bonus action destroys my move. So I don't think I've really got anything left.
All right. No worries. Damian.
I believe also earlier I was holding a sacred flame.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a save, I think. Dex.
Okay.
And it should be a 15, not a 14 for the save.
Yep. All right. So I'll make a save. Let's have a look. So Dex save. Oh! Do you know why, Damien? Do you know why, Damien, this is so good? Do you know what the Dex modifier on this thing is?
Probably stupid high.
9.
I mean, considering, it's a critical failure is a 10.
9. Christ.
Good to know. Anyway.
Okay. So drop, finally, primary weapon. Roll Dex will be stunned for 1 round on a DC 19. Jesus. Now this is a Dex save again. Alright.
Need to roll at least a 10.
Oh, it made it. So it's come away from it. Right, so it's not stunned, but it doesn't have a primary weapon. So what I'm going to say is it cannot use its shock ability again. Right, till the end of its next turn.
Does it seem to take damage from the radiant flames?
Well, I guess, what has it got here? 1d8. No, it doesn't. No, it failed. Yeah, so it's still taking the 1d8. Go ahead.
Yeah, I already rolled it. I got a 7.
7. All right, that damage seems to have worked, and the huge amount of damage from Filialis' attack, which was hampered by its resistance, seems to have worked. So it's not looking great. You can see that its form seems to have shifted somewhat. So what I'm going to do, just while I'm here, is put its initiative in. 23, 10. It rolled a 1 on its initiative. Oh my god. How do you fumble initiative? Alright.
It's better than most of us.
Just real quick,
How do you fall in water?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So that was my held action. Do I still get an action? Or is it?
No, I think if you held, that's sort of a trap action. You got movement.
Yeah, I moved up 20 feet.
Yep. Okay. Bonus?
From this distance.
Yep.
Actually, I might move just a little bit up here.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to kind of assess Kadrak's condition, just from a distance?
Kadrak is dead to all intents and purposes. He's, fundamentally unconscious.
Okay. So he's not dead.
No.
Alright, so then as a bonus, I can spare the dying.
Okay.
As long as he's within 30 feet, which I think he is.
Yep.
Just. So I shall do that.
Yep. Okay, so you've made him
Then I'll-
stable. Yep.
Yep, and then I'll back up 5 feet.
Okay.
Just in case.
Windra.
That's my turn.
Alright. Gonna hit that thing with a guiding bolt.
Okay, go ahead. Oh,
There we go.
unfortunately, you didn't hit.
Oh, damn.
That was such a good shot, but you did not hit.
Yeah. Does the... Oh, no. It's on a hit. Okay, never mind. Because I was going to say, there's, like, the secondary function of it giving advantage on attacks against it, but it has to hit. Never
You
mind.
watch, Windra, as you fire, and you watch as it spreads its form and creates a vacuum in the middle, and the blast goes through and hits the ground, but just by that merest minimum. Yeah. Okay.
I think she'll start to fall back a bit.
Yep. Get out the way. Cool.
Just like there, yeah.
Filialis.
Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do, because I've got a reach of 10 feet now,
Mm-hmm.
so move 15 feet to there.
Yep.
Is that? Yep, that's fine. And then I'm going
Yep.
to use. So I'm gonna make an unarmed hit.
Yep. With the arms. Yep. Go ahead.
Yep. But because of this, that there'll be it'll be force damage,
Yep.
and using wisdom, so it'll be a +1 to whatever's doing 18.
18 does not hit.
Oh,
Unfortunately, no. So you watch as you come forward, your astral arm struck forward, and this creature sort of like dodges to the side as these astral projections go through. Now, while you're doing that, Tom, make a perception roll as well for me. All right. You look, and as the form dodges back of Kadrak, and you look in that mirror, you watch this horribly malicious expression from this androgynous form in the mirror. Like, and you realize in that brief moment, this thing does not care what happens to this body. Like,
okay. I'm gonna, for a bonus action, use
Yep. Go
Flurry
ahead.
of Blows, which
Yep.
is do 2. So,
Go ahead.
none of them hit.
None of them hit. You watch as this sort of spectral form like appears, disappears as you're flailing at it and disappearing and reappearing on the other side. You've never fought an opponent with this level of agility.
Okay, and then I use 15, so I'm gonna move
Yep.
25 feet back.
Yep. So you're backing out. Yep. Good idea. Right, Litehands. You have prepared your bow.
Same as last.
Hmm?
I didn't hear any of the clues there, so I'm going to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Go ahead. And your arrow sails wide. You don't know why. Like, you fire it and you watch it heading straight towards that form. And then suddenly it like splits in half. Like half the body goes that way, half the other. And it passes through. Okay.
That's it again.
Okay. All right. You see this form changes. It goes from being this androgynous form to this female form with long white hair. And you watch down, you can see the form appears like exotic in a form that not all of you have seen. But from your own travels, for you, Squadge, you have seen this as the features of a northern elf. Not the elves you're used to here. And you watch as this female form drops down, the hand goes back, and the hand, like, spectrally penetrates into Kadrak's chest. Or at least attempts to. And where have we got? And you see this form starts drawing life from him. So I will get Kadrak for a saving throw. At disadvantage. And he survived. You can see this form. You can see the mirror. Like, subconsciously, he pushes the mirror and it, like, grabs hold of this hand, trying to push into his chest and draw his life essence out. And it's managed to survive. Okay. Damian.
I'm gonna try something stupid.
Yep.
I'm going to try and speak telepathically with the form.
Right. Of the actual creature attacking.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay, so plenty clearly in distance. Alright, so suddenly Damian, this like in your mind, it's suddenly like a huge horizon has opened. And you gain this experience of a vast intellect. A vast and ancient intellect. But you notice it's an intellect that is lacking something critically.
Oh, I hope it's not emotion that's gonna fuck me in my plan real bad.
Right. And it's like you're on top of a mountain, if you want to describe a titanic intellect as being the top of the mountain, and you're looking across the valleys, but you suddenly realize this intellect is fearful to look beyond a certain point. And then suddenly a thought starts heading towards you. You can see it like a spider web, charged and lighting up and heading towards you.
Hello?
Yeah. And you see it stops at this point. And then suddenly you feel this vacuum of time dragging at your conscience. I want you to make a DC 11 wisdom saving throw for you.
I have advantage on those, as I remembered.
Yeah, go ahead.
That'll definitely help me.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking kidding me? Hang on.
And double ones.
No, it doesn't matter.
Double
It doesn't
ones.
matter.
And you feel yourself circling in a psychic drain towards this point. And you see a reflection as you look down. You are looking towards the reflection of this thing as it looks into the mirror that's looking back at it from Kadrak's form. And you feel yourself draining down, your essence breaking up in this thought strain. Right. So, Damian, you feel this surge of age and depth and not evil. It's not evil, it's rational and it's cold. And you feel this surge coming through. And this voice, a male voice, says to you, "This is your tool, Sumkra, after all these years. Have you become so desperate? But then, who am I to judge, for have not I become similarly desperate? He's not so strong without your face, is he, Sumkra? Come to me, Kundian morsel. I'm sure I'll find some sort of space for your soul within." And you feel this further surge of energy, which does not take place this turn. But you are circling the drain, Damian, and you know it. There is something which is trying to consume you. Right.
Fun. Alright.
Okay.
Guess I'll die.
Guess I'll die. All right, Windra, you watch as Damian drops to his knees figuratively, like he's stunned. His form stops moving and he just drops to the ground.
Alright, I'm gonna try something I've never done before.
Okay. Bloody hell. What's
Read a big old block
That's
of
brilliant.
text now.
Yeah. Tell me what that means.
I am turning into a giant owl.
All right, so you're going for it. So you're shipping into an owl. Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't have one ready, but I'll prep one for the next session. So you've
Yeah.
flipped into this giant owl form. What are you doing?
Screeching and flying over to pick up Damian, I suppose.
Okay, so the movement of a giant owl, have you called it up?
I have indeed.
Yeah.
We've got 60 feet to fly. All right.
Okay, so you are heading towards him. Right, go ahead. Move your token, but I'll get something worked out for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll chuck myself over there.
Yep.
And yeah, I guess swoop in to pick him up.
Okay, so you've gone forward. What is the strength roll for the giant owl?
13 plus 1.
Okay, so give me a dice roll at +1. But I'm going to give you advantage in this because you are freaking out.
Wait, do I roll a d20?
Yeah, roll a d20. If you get a DC of 13 or better, if not, roll again.
Yeah, hold that thought. I got 20.
Okay, cool. So you just move, you run, and Squadge and Filialis, you watch Windra run past, and you see her form changes into this large owl. And she just steps forward, grabs hold of Damian, and then pulls back. What direction are you flying in? So I'm going to give the owl the full movement on top of your physical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess I gotta swoop up, pick up Damian, and then head back the same way.
So you're retreating back? Yeah, going to go back the other way completely? All right. So you got 40 feet of movement. So take yourself back 40 feet, and we'll take Damian back the same way. Yeah. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Got another 10 feet there.
I can't remember which way we got up here, but
and
I'm like,
we'll
I
bring
feel like I'm
Damian
just pushing
back with you. All right. So, Damian, I want you to roll a dice. And I want you to work out the range of this effect upon you. So what I want you to do is roll D100.
I mean, technically the range is...
What?
30 feet.
For what?
The mind link.
No, not wildland, not wild form. I'm talking about the power this creature has over you. Roll D100 for me and see the range that it's got at that link. Jesus Christ.
How's a 1?
1 foot. Oh, so you break away. It's almost like that the creature looks towards you. Well, not so much that. What I will say to you, roll perception for me, Damian.
I'm about to roll another 1. This is going to be 4 rolls.
No, this will be at advantage, but roll that.
What was it? Perception again, sorry?
Just perception, yeah.
Alright. So I'm in shock from the 3 ones.
Okay. So, Damian, you can no longer see Kadrak. All you can see is the reflection in the mirror on his chest, which has almost become front and center in your mind in this strange oblique shape, right? All you can see is this male form you can't really make out the features apart from the hostility and the resentment. But you notice when you get to a certain point, it breaks. And the power drops over you, and suddenly this vortex of your soul breaks away. And I want you to roll insight for me again at advantage, please. Hey. All right. Do you know the most frightening thing for you as you hang in the talons of this giant owl? Is that as you fly away farther almost, you get a sense from him he's almost disappointed that you stepped away from the void.
Yeah.
That
I'm not.
the moment that risk breaks, this sense of almost like a psychic sigh. All right, so you pulled away. Windra, you come away. Well, Windra, I'm going to give you advantage. So I don't know inspiration. Sorry. So if I'm not sure how much inspiration you got there, Annie.
I've misplaced my other notebook, but I think from memory I had 1 or 2.
Okay.
So I might be at 2 or 3.
Okay. All right.
We'll just say we've got
So
some
we're
banked.
Yep. So you're just elated by the success of this, and you can feel it in your wild shape form, like the wild magic of the earth. As you pull him away, you feel this like tendril pulling him one way, a tendril pulling him the other, and they snap, and you get your not member back, and you fly away. Okay, Felialis, go ahead.
Okay. It is the mirror thing still on Kadrak?
Yeah, it's definitely hanging around his neck. I'm seeing
I want
these
to throw
sage
it down.
nods from Ben.
I know what you're thinking.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna make it there. I'll move up.
So
And-
you're actually going to go into direct competition. Yeah. Okay.
And
Yep.
I want to yank off the mirror and throw it into the pond.
So you're going to physically grab the mirror. Okay. All right. I think given your skill base, dexterity is the go. So make it. Yeah.
Because of my arms,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure, that it allows me to,
Wisdom modifier in place of your strength modifier for strength checks. Yeah.
it might be just strength ones maybe.
Yeah, but I'm happy for you, Tom, to use Filialis's best stat on this. Your height. So whatever you feel will offer you the best roll. So athletics, acrobatics, whatever you feel is the most appropriate. You just watched as this Like the air has suddenly gone electric, and you've watched as Windra has changed her form, gone in and pulled out your suddenly disabled form of Damian, who's been like you watching him twitching and spasming in this and reaching for this mask that he just managed to get off his face. And Windra has lifted him away.
Right, I think I'll use acrobatics.
You clutch at it, but you don't get it. Do you have any other ability, luck roll, anything? Anything you can use? Any reaction you can use?
I think what I'll do is I will use my patient defense to use the dodge action.
Yeah, okay. So you've set yourself up. You can see as you do that, the form looks at you. And you see this male form that the face like hardens, like a smoky sort of visage. And you look at that. I'll give you an intelligence roll. If you roll 17 or above, you have remembered that face. No, it's too much. It just shifts so quickly. And then it goes into a female form. Like, it just keeps moving. But you know for a second you saw the true face of this thing. Right? For a second. As it will lunge towards you, and you can see that your plan to defend yourself is the best plan to take. All right. So, Litehands, you're standing there, watching your friends being carried off by owls. Your friend running to attack. Oh, different. So, 16 points of damage. You watch as your arrow goes sailing through the middle of this creature. Now, you are doing reduced damage, but you watch as the arrow goes through. And for a moment, you think, oh no, it's not enough. And then suddenly you watch this static build in the hole that the arrow passed through, and this face turns around. You watch it more from female to male, and then suddenly these eyes look back to you. Make an intelligence roll for me, DC 17, to see if you can remember that face. It slips from you. But the arrow goes through, and you watch as the form breaks up, and this weakened form of itself disappears. Oh, Christ. Sorry, I've had a lockout.
That's right.
Alright.
Take that, light.
Oh, Christ. Alright. So you watch as that thing just disappears. And Kadrak drops back onto the ground, like almost with like a seizure. Now, what I'll say is at the end of each turn, Kadrak will have to make a death saving throw. You got any movement for Squadge?
Sorry, I used my a bonus ability there to stifle my movement, but give me advantage on attack rolls.
Yep.
The sneak attack was because Filialis became within 5 feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, Damian, you are about 15 feet above the ground in the claws of this giant owl. As suddenly your psyche is released.
I think for now, I don't know any of those spell slots left. I think I'm just gonna try and see if I can communicate with the giant howl carrying me. I'm going to assume it's Windra, even though I've never seen her do this before. I'm just going to see if I can get across to her to get me back to Kadrak so I can heal him.
All right.
I will.
I'm going to get you to make an animal handling roll.
Oh, holy shit. I've actually got really high animal handling. Huh, how about that?
No!
Didn't matter.
Okay. So, Windra, you, in your mind, you have this thing that Damian is exhorting you to keep going. Get away as fast as you can.
I just want to check.
Yeah.
Were you trying? How are you trying to communicate this to me? Because if it was verbal, I can understand you.
Yeah, it was just verbal.
Yeah, because I can understand in like common, but I can't speak it because I'm now.
Okay.
But I suppose it depends on how you were trying to say it. If you were like, "Oh, fly back," and I'm like, "Oh, fly back home." Yep, we got it.
Yeah. Look, what I'll say is make an intelligence roll based on what he has told you, but a DC 15, because he's been really bad at it.
Yeah, cool.
Now, all you know is he wants you to fly like the clappers. All right?
He's just very stressed right now, and I think he's just a bit confused.
Yeah.
I know what to do best. Yep.
So your normal fly movement is 40 feet. Is that right?
60, it says on the.
60? So you're off 60 feet carrying him. Yep. Where are you heading?
Yep.
Away.
I'm trying to remember the. Yeah. I mean, if we zoom right out on the map.
Yep.
We came from all the way down here, right?
Do you want to ping it?
Yeah, like right down the bottom of.
Yep.
Sorry, as a side note, if I notice that Windra hasn't really understood what I've said, I'm going to see if I can quickly cast Healing Word on Kadrak.
Okay, from a distance. All right, go
Just
ahead.
because I'm like, oh shit, I might as well get something in.
All right, go ahead. As you're being carried off into the distance.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to double check something as well.
Hmm.
Here, so this is. I keep forgetting about this. If someone's at 0 hit points, when I roll for to heal, it automatically goes to the max amount.
Okay. All right. So the range.
The range is 60 feet.
Oh, you are. Oh, before she takes off, you're good. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying just before. A great one. So that's.
All right. Roll.
I don't need to. It's just automatically 4.
1d4 for each slot.
plus 5, so it heals 9.
Okay. All right. So you cast that, and Damian, you watch as the bird is carrying you off. You watch your energy go towards Kadrak. And as it's about to hit Kadrak's chest, you watch as it deviates into the mirror. And you see your energy goes into the mirror. And as you do that, you see that the mirror, like, grows slightly. Like sparking sparks as it expands its size. And in your soul you can hear the start of a heartbeat. But you're a trained physician, you know these things. You're used to. But as your energy goes into that mirror, all you can hear is. You've fired the heart of something that is not human. Okay.
Alright, I'll just let myself get carried off then.
All right, you're being carried off. Where are you going, Windra? What direction are you flying in?
Flying back the way we came. So I'm probably going to start heading towards that trail we took in.
Yep. Okay, so you're off.
Down here.
Yep. And going with you. Okay.
Yeah, trailing behind. Just
So
like
that
one
was
foot.
your turn. That was normal movement. Any action?
I think not much in the way of actions as opposed to attacking, so I guess I'll hold it.
Okay. Filialis, you watch as you can see there's this sudden surge of power, and you watch as Kadrak's form is back arches, and you can see the frame of the mirror like change, and his form drops back cold. You look down at the mirror and you see yourself reflected in it, almost like it's become inert. Roll a wisdom DC 15 saving throw for me. Filialis, you pick up the mirror. You take it off, you lift his head, and you quietly push it down into a pocket that you have, a pouch stitched inside your tunic. Roll sleight of hands for me. Dex save. Okay, it's not the best. You're a bit kerfuffled, but you grab this mirror and stash it away. Alright, what's your action?
So it was like Kadrak dead?
It looks pretty dead, yeah.
then kind of put him in the 'cause I've got that bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Could I like put him
Flip
in
him
there
in.
and then
Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to try and feed him into the bag of holding, all right? Yeah.
yeah.
I'm cool with that. I think you'll get it wide enough to actually drag him in. You would have to strip his armor off. Like, can't quite get in, but you'd have
Yeah.
to take those items off. Okay. So you dispense with it. When you take his armor off, you have this sense of revulsion. Because you can see under the armor is like a vest that seems to be dried skin, and it's covered in runes, stitched with a sinew that looks like the sinew has been made from human tissue. It's covered in runes, like absolutely covered. When you...
Stays on his body, does it?
Sorry?
That stays on his body as he's shoved into the
Well, this I don't know, but
bag of holding.
this I don't know. But when you look at that form and you take the armor off, it's... the runes are old. They're like runes you've seen from when you were a child in the Sevenhold on the old stones.
Yeah. Well, I reckon I wouldn't spend any more time than I needed to, so I'll just take
Yep.
off the
The
armor
armor
and not.
and dump him in.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So you chuck him in. As you push him into the bag, you look at this enlarged mirror. And you see that your face appears. And then as you push him into the bag, and it's like that link between different dimensions in the bag of holding. And you watch as your reflection changes into this ferocious, rabid image of a fox. And it disappears.
I think
Okay.
with that, I would probably head towards the rest of the.
All right. So you do that. That was your action. I think you would have no movement in that sense
Okay.
because you were packing that up. Yep. Okay. Squadge, you have stayed still through the whole thing. Firing arrows, watching this whole thing happen. Make a perception roll for me. Right. All right. What are you doing, Squatch?
I'm going to take a move to help Filialis.
Yep.
I mean, one of our knot is down, right?
Yep. Okay.
I'm going to come out to here, and then I'm going to call out loud enough to Windra, or hoping that Windra hears, and say, "The light has been extinguished.
Okay.
Fly back to us, and tell us, should there be anything else?"
Make a performance roll for me at advantage. Easy. So, Windra, you hear that. It resonates. All of you hear that. So, you're heading back?
And then bonus action,
Yep.
I'm going to take the dash.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
Sorry, it'll actually, that's double movement in the swamp, isn't it?
Yep. Yep.
So it's going to be here.
Okay. So, Damian, you are hanging there in the claws of the owl. And you can see that, I'm assuming, Windra is turning. What are you doing, Damian?
I mean, I can't do anything until we get back to them, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we get there, I want to try and communicate with him that when I tried to heal him, I felt something. Just something. I didn't know. I couldn't make it out, but it felt like I healed something. But if Kadrak's dead,
Yeah.
might need to be a bit more concerned.
All right. So what I'm going to say to you is make an insight roll for me.
Can I guide myself?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's just a D4. All right. Insight.
Yep. 19. Okay. So, as you're gliding along with the energy of your companion carrying you, you glide back, and Damien, you realize that you didn't just heal something, you brought back something back to life. Make an insight roll for me again. Any healing energy that goes into that mirror will make that thing stronger.
Okay, so when we get back to the group, I'm going to tell them we need to get rid of the mirror.
Okay.
It needs to go.
Something old, something powerful has been reborn in that mirror.
We can either get rid of it or palm it off to someone else.
Okay.
Let's sell it.
So, we'll do that. Windra, are you flying back?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think I can reach back to her about that tree.
Yep.
Drag
So
Damian
you're
along with
coming
me.
back. Okay.
And I suppose there's not much else I can do unless I wanted to just throw Damian on the ground, but I don't think she'll do that.
Filialis, you are standing there and you watch as the stripped form of Kadrak changes. And you look down and you see the form of a middle-aged man as you put him into the bag. The vest is still there, but it's not Kadrak. Well, that's not quite right. It is Kadrak, but it's not Kadrak. And then you watch as his booted feet go into the bag and shift into that alternate dimension. Right, what are you doing? You're sitting there shocked by the image in your mind of a fox. You didn't expect that. You thought it would be the badger. But nonetheless, it's a fox. And you're thinking back to the symbol of Savin. Which is a fox.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing?
I guess we came in here to get Kadrak, and
Yep.
I guess in some form we have. So I guess I'll try and see if there's an obvious way out.
Yep. Okay. So that's what's sitting in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're looking for an obvious way out. Like, are you talking about going out over by boat back to Bedroll Isle or otherwise, or quickest way out of the island?
Well, I guess yeah, back to like the bedroll isle.
Yep. So the way that you've seen Windra go is probably the fastest as you understand it.
Is she still an owl?
Yep, but she's
I
flying
think I'm an
back.
owl for an hour. And it's my owl hour. My owl hour for my eye of the eye isle.
You could fly over and probably deliver all of us in less time than it'll take us to walk.
Very likely, and I can't find a carry capacity, so we're just gonna say there's none, right?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it's good. All right. So, Filialis.
But before we go, I just want to sort of get across to sort of the gazebo sort of thing.
Do it. Okay. So you're going to wade through the water or what?
You said it was about 10 feet-ish.
Yep.
To it, like. I think I'll jump it, I think.
Okay, go ahead. Athletics roll for me. Okay, so Filialis, you run to the edge and then you leap across. And you get to the north side of it and you sort of just hang on to the edge onto a pillar, and you grab it and you swing around and you drop down. And you look back and all you see is like a smear of energy.
And is the sort of contraption in the middle? Is
Yeah. You step down from hanging on to the pillar. You look around and it's like you're in an encapsulated time. It's weird. And you look up, there's like a 20-foot old but beautifully crafted stone tower in front of you under the gazebo. So you could either look for an entrance or climb to the top.
I think I'll try and climb. I think.
All right. So that's what you're attempting to climb. Yep. Another athletics roll for me. All right. Not great. You're climbing, but slowly. Really slowly. Right. Squadge.
I see Filialis do this crazy thing, and I follow him.
Okay. You saw him jump across, but you can no longer see him.
So I'm going to take a running jump as well. That's a athletics, is it?
Yep. Go ahead.
Not acrobatics by any chance?
You can. No, that's okay. From where you are, you're pretty close. You're in the best vantage point, so that's fine.
I'm just going to use I'll use a skill, which will be this one.
Yeah, great.
Increase my jump.
It would apply. Yeah.
And I would love to use acrobatics and do it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do a spring handstand instead of a running jump.
Okay. Okay. So you leap across, and as you leap across, it's like within this pillared gazebo, and you jump across, you walk forward around the corner, sort of in this direction. So you can't help but sort of get to that point, and you're looking across, and you see the same thing, like this tumultuous movement of energy right around you. And you look and you see Filialis standing there, but what you see is this distorted form of the honey badger and a fox, like with the tail, like fox ears, like a long top jaw, a smaller badger top jaw, like this mixture of biology resonating, but at the core of it you can see your companion. But when you look at that form, Squadge, that form is like 7 foot tall. It's like this beast. But as you come through and get closer, it's like that image dissipates back to your companion. All right. So you've done that. You walk forward. So you're going around to where Filialis is, or yep. Okay. All right. Damian.
Damian's not in the right headspace right now. He thinks he might have just unleashed something horrible. Yeah. He's just kind of going to be a bit of a dead weight at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
He's
So,
especially after
staying-
getting his mind torn like twice within the last 48 hours. Yeah, he doesn't feel great. He's just gonna hang out,
All right.
literally and figuratively.
Literally, like hanging there. Right, Windra.
Yeah, so she's probably going to head over to where she last saw, like everyone, which was near
Right.
Kadrak's old
Yep.
pod. So probably jump over
Right.
there somewhere, and set Damian down.
Yep. Now, can I ask that you do a fresh roll
Okay.
on your weather? Thanks.
Okay.
17. Right. Why can't I find... Oh, here we are. All right. So I'm going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. A D6. You feel, Windra, you feel this surge of energy as you can see the weather starts to deteriorate around you. You feel a storm brewing, and with that, your power from your heritage starts to grow. But you know the storm is not from the elements. The storm is from this thing that seems to be unleashed. So what I'm going to say is, for the foreseeable future, based on your heritage, you have +3 to all rolls you make as your power expands in that energy. So guys, for your information, Windra has an ability to relate to the energy in the environment, and it can empower her significantly. Right? Okay.
We're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Up in here with these playing fields. Woo!
Okay. So in that case, so you've arrived, you drop down. Windra, are you doing anything?
Aside from setting down Damian, I guess she'll use her giant owl's vision of keen hearing and sight, which is a wisdom perception check to just listen out, look out for anything potentially threatening.
Yep.
Now, I'm unsure if I roll that on my own sheet or...
What's the take the better modifier?
Wisdom. Oh, it's 13 plus 1. Okay.
Yep. No. You're picking nothing up. All right. So as
Very
you...
distracted being an owl for the first time.
Absolutely.
It's a bit weird.
So you look across and you can see that your companions have moved. You've watched them going to that point. Okay. Filialis. Within the vortex, You tried climbing, not too successfully. What are you doing?
I guess I'll see if there's some form of way inside, like an entrance or whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right. So how are you doing that?
I think I'll just like physically just like walk around it, see if there's.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to move around. All right. So you're going to say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You walk around 30 feet. Make a perception roll for me. Okay. You get to a point where you see what looks to be like a sconce in the wall. It rebates. It looks like a shell, like not of a seashell, but maybe something like a snail shell. You can sort of see marks in the stone. At the bottom of it is a larger aperture based with the same the same sort of snail shell motif. You can see there's water in there. What do you want to do? Apart from that, there's no feature in these walls. They're the same, that kind of like they've been hand kneaded up. You can see what looks to be finger marks from unnaturally long fingers.
All right. I think what I'll try and do is like like scoop up some like the pond water
Mm-hmm.
and try and sort of splash it.
So adding water to it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to get to do is make a Arcana roll for me. Okay. You scoop some of the outside water. As you do that, like your hand, it's almost like you see your fingertips distorting in time as they go towards this edge of this surge, and you bring them back with a small 20 mils of water. And you throw it into this sconce. And you hear this like bubbling start. And you hear this yawning sound. Like, start. And the water suddenly evaporates and sort of steams up as that appears. To the rest of you outside, as you're looking, you look up to the top of this, and then suddenly you see this like bright light like appear at the top of this gazebo, of this light. And then you see out of the center of this thing at the top, there's a space about 20 foot above the gazebo, sits higher than the actual area itself. And give me a moment. Okay. Why is that not working? Oh, give me one check. And as you look to the top of that, you see a form appears. Why has that appeared there? Hang on. Right. You see this tall, androgynous form sort of rise out of the top of the tower. I am a freeness. Why do you bring death to this place? And that's where we end. And when he says that, or it says that, this elongated alien form, it looks very much focused on Damian. Okay. All right.
So it should be.
How it should be, yeah, I agree. How it should be. All right. Sorry, hang on. I've got some more notations here. All right. Because, you know, we all know Damian is only in it to bring things back from the dead. Right.
Unwilling necromancer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm just that good of a doctor. Jeez.
I know, you're doing really well. Like, you know, like...
I never even graduated. I left early.
It's like that video of the guy who does CPR so well that he brings the practice dummy back to life.
All right. So
I didn't really follow up on that backup character I made.
So obviously, guys, we're heading in a bit of a different direction because we don't have a great deal. Unfortunately, Max can't get involved. So we're moving on from that point. All right? Okay. So we have somebody who has given the rise to something in a mirror. We've got our Tyre, who is seeing the reflection of something which is something he does not want to see. And we're starting to see the evolving power of our Stormborn. And we're actually seeing that Squadge's conspiracy theories are proving to be true. So we're going well. We're going well.
Squad secretly just has a power to just bring anything that he thinks of into material.
That's so good.
I think he's the true villain.
That's so good, Caleb. I'm actually going to work on that. Maybe it's Squatch the whole time.
Yeah. Squatch just like manifested every conspiracy he's ever had.
Exactly. And you know that you've got a companion who's been chucked into a bag of holding, which seems to be wearing a skin vest of magical
a skin suit.
Yeah. And now you have this thing appear, which, to all intents and purposes, in Ilath is what is we know as an elf.
So, can I just say, isn't it such a beautiful turn of events that we went from Max hiding other bodies in a sack to Max being in a sack? And that's kind of karma, you know?
That's good, isn't it? That's good. All right, guys. Thank you. I thought we'd get this far and then reset. We'll go from there. All right? Good on
But
you.
yeah, let's just stop when the alien appears.
Yeah, yeah. I love the alien appearing. It's really good for dramatic intent. All right. Take care.
I mean, it's better than